James Vittori.
Burning questions.
Howdy, I'm James Vittori, everybody's favorite blue-collar guru, and this is Questions of the Burning Kind. Today we've got an amazing question. You know what's funny is there's this idea that we like to talk about. It's called "In the Particular Lies the Universal," which means the questions you have and the loves and the fears you have are everyone's, right? So if you don't fess up at some point and raise a question, then you're not only stifling yourself, you're robbing everybody else of that question. And we have somebody who's sending in an extremely honest question. Our dear friend Eva, Eva or Eva writes in and she says, "My mother is an artist. She's 56 years old, divorced from an abusive husband, and is teaching English in a remedial high school. She's been shot down and hadn't painted in over 20 years. Every day she drives home and immediately paints, because that's what she knows she's supposed to be doing. She is kicking ass. She texts me every day with progress photos of her work. It's time to get her life back on track. This weekend, she's having one of her first 2 art shows in 20 years. I think it's a beautiful thing. Painting is her only escape. She's too afraid to quit her job. I know it's bad for her. Her boss is manipulative, and my mother is accepting to that kind of treatment, due most likely to her past marriage. Any words of advice in motivating her? Thank you so much, Ava." You know, there's so much stuff in your question here. There's so many answers in your question here. You say that painting is her only escape. Painting is an outlet. Painting is something where she is here, she's in the moment, right? And that means something. That means she's completely capable of having her entire life be an escape if she could just be, right? And I'm not, I've stopped talking about your mom, Ava. I'm talking about all of us. Because all of us have some level of victimhood. Some fear that's creating a victim-like mentality in our lives. Whether it's money, whether it's success, whether it's other people, whether it's failure, it's victimhood. I think this is an interesting question, and you know what really boggles my mind is how we, and I include myself in all of this, how we, at some point in our early life, something happened. It's not just the abusive husband. It went on before that. Accepting, being told they're not worthy. The not worthy thing is huge, Ava. The not worthy thing is huge. I've done workshops with people, like full day and week-long workshops, and you're out there, you know this, where my job with one person or 2 people is just to get them to say out loud, shoulders back, to say, "I'm worthy." And it's a shit ton of work. You know, legitimate therapy, not burning questions, legitimate therapy at its best works only because you have a rare atmosphere where you can sit, you can voice, you can be heard, but you have to come back next week, and you have to come back the week after that, and you have to come back the week after that, because practice is the only thing that works. Practice is the only thing that will set you free. Practice is your escape. Practice not only painting, but understanding that feeling that you get when you're painting, and demand that from your life every day, all the time. You know, rock stars commit suicide at an extremely early age because all the panties thrown on stage mean nothing if you don't feel it inside. So, Ava, the victim mentality here is interesting. And I will poorly paraphrase Marianne Williamson with this idea of most of us, most of you, and most of me, would rather, you know, we have these fears of whether it's like money or success or whatever. We would rather live in the dull pain, the dull, painful everyday existence, because our victimhood is familiar, is comfortable. It's what we know. We would rather live in the daily dull pain of that then experience the sharp pain of self-discovery. The sharp pain of practicing saying out loud to the world, to yourself, that you are beautiful, that you are completely worthy. People who want to abuse you, they are suffering, they're in pain, and that's their outlet. Leave them alone. You know, I don't know how many girls I've known who are in abusive relationships and stay in it, and they say, well, you know, he really loves me inside, or would rather stay in that relationship than be alone. Am I talking to you? Get out of that. Oh my God, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. You are completely worthy. Damn, I hate that. I hate that because I know that. Right? So, Ava, congratulate your mom on her shows. Give her a big hug. Hold her tight. Tell her that she's completely beautiful, completely worthy, and to keep on painting. You guys are awesome. James Victori, Burning Questions. Have a damn opinion. Make work that matters, and love something other than yourself and your goddamn victimhood mentality. And I will see you next week on Burning Questions. Adios.